Hi, listeners. Welcome to Page to Picture. I'm your host, Kim.
And I'm your host, Tiff, and today is a special episode featuring our Art Corner of the Week author.
Yes, she is a proud Persian Canadian author who grew up writing and telling stories with her goal to write the most magical books for the hopeless romantics.
Yes, you can catch her listening to Taylor Swift, drawing, and if she's not writing or reading, she is spending time with her friends and doing cosplay, which put a pin in that because I have questions and I want to know. And I literally can't wait any longer. So please join us in welcoming Sara Shefiei.
Yes. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing good. I love your pink aesthetic that you have going on.
I
I was like, so
I love
cute.
it.
My motto is that you can never have enough pink. So,
oh my God, I love it. So
I love
cute.
that.
Okay, so before we jump into A Destined Journey, because trust us, Tiff and I can't wait to talk about this book with you, we wanted just to start off by getting to know you, Sarah, as the writer and author.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, we just wanted to know, like, what inspired you to become a writer, and did you always know that this was something that you wanted to do?
yeah, so I don't think it started off as wanting to be a published writer. I think growing up, I just loved making stories the way that, when you're a child, you like to play games a lot, right? So I liked anything that was the make believe, pretending I was some sort of fairy or princess or magical powers, finding a crystal that I could like wish on and stuff. So I think it started off more like that, and then I remember I would write little poems here and there, little short stories. I would draw little comic books, and I think in elementary school I even tried to write a book. I have no idea why, because it was such a random story. I generally I think about it's like a girl who her mom abandoned her to become a celebrity, and she's going on this trip to find her mom. And I was like, why did I even where did this idea even come from? I don't know, but it's weird. So I do remember trying to write that in elementary. Of course, it did not work out. But fast forward to high school, where I feel like that's really when the reading phase hit me harder. Like I already did like reading, but that's really when I became a more hardcore reader, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a summer that I turned 15, and I have a really vivid memory of this for some reason. I was staring at my bookshelf, and that summer I had read like maybe 20 books, and I had gotten very emotional and attached and whatnot. And I remember thinking in my head for the first time ever that, oh, these are people that are writing these books. I don't know why it hit me in that moment that anybody could write books.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
You're like, they didn't just magically appear. Like, someone's writing these books.
Exactly. And I mean, it's such a obvious thing to know, but for some reason it doesn't hit you. You just feel like these books appear out of nowhere, right? So yeah, that's how it started. And then I realized that I wanted to make people feel the emotions that I'm feeling. And I think that's when I decided I want to be a writer. Like I want to publish
Oh my
books.
God.
Yeah. And then that's where, it all started.
Oh my God,
I love that.
I know.
I love that.
I never really thought about it either. Like, yeah, there's people who are sitting there taking the time, creating these stories, writing these books. Like, they don't just magically appear on my bookshelf. I'm like, oh, what book is? I wish books just magically appeared on my bookshelf.
Let's talk about some of the authors or the books that you have that influenced your writing. So at the time when you were 15 in the summer and you're looking at your bookshelf and you have this recognition of the authors and stuff, what are some of your favorites at the time that helped you lead to that? Or what are your favorites now? Or just some of the books that influenced you with your own writing?
Yeah. So the book that got me into reading, it was in elementary school. I don't remember the writer, but that's really what changed my path because I remember being very stubborn. My mom would take me to the bookstore and she would be like, "You need to pick a book. You need to read." Because I had to learn French because I'm in Montreal, so I went to French school and
Oh my gosh,
my first language was Persian, and then it was English, and then it was French. So I
Mhm.
struggled with French a lot. And she kept trying to get me to read in French. And the more somebody tells you to do something, the less you want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to read, especially not in French. So I was being stubborn. But then I found a book for 99 cents. And I'm like, okay, fine, buy this one. If I don't read it, I won't feel guilty that you spent money on me. And I get home, I started to read it, and I fall in love. And that's I got obsessed. I went to buy the other five because it was a series. Yeah. So that's how it started. And then, so I think definitely that just ignited the inspiration because it was a little bit it was like modern fantasy. So there was
Mhm.
that. But again, I haven't read this book in years, and I don't even know if that writer has other books. So that was more just the spark. But in
Yeah.
terms of like when I was 15 and in high school, I read books that were very different from what I read now. I actually did not read a lot of fantasy books, ironically. I read mostly like contemporary romances, historical books, like, you know, The Book Thief, for example, or I read a lot of Sarah Dessin. I think Sarah Dessin was
Mhm.
really the author that got me to feel a lot of emotions, that got me into
Mhm.
wanting to be a writer. So initially, when I had two book ideas at the time, and it was all like teenage love ones because that's what I was reading most.
Yeah.
So fast forward to like 2020, COVID, obviously,
Yeah.
Mhm.
when as we all, you know, we all fell through the ACOTAR train. I'm assuming you two did too. Um,
Oh no, that's my sister.
no?
I just started. I
Okay.
just
Yeah.
started
Okay.
it.
Okay. What about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, I went through that
Yeah.
phase. I have
Okay.
the books and everything, so
There you
She's
go.
like, it wasn't a phase; it's a lifestyle.
yeah, I was like in it.
It is a lifestyle. You don't
Yeah.
move past it. It's not a phase, mom. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
so um a few years before I did read Akatar, I had come up with the concept of a fantasy series or romance book, you could say, but I hadn't, because I was in university, I was distracted, and also I wasn't even thinking about it. But then, yeah, during COVID, I read Akatar, and then that's really, really what got me into reading fantasy. So I would say that's obviously Sarah J. Maas did play a huge role in inspiring me to embark on that actual journey. But
Mhm.
recently, I would say Stephanie Garber. I really, really loved Caraval and
Yeah.
Once Upon a Broken Heart. Yeah, it was really whimsical, and that's exactly like the kind of vibes that I want to go for with my book. So I would say like all the recent fantasy books that I read when it
Yeah.
I
comes
love
to
that.
the books that inspired me.
That's total Tiff's like that's
I love fantasy.
her era genre.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a
she's
Okay.
like
fantasy girl through and through.
Yeah.
Cuz I'll pick up like contemporary romance books or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh, this is nice." And I just go immediately right back into like a fantasy book, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is where
But
this is
it
where I
does,
belong. I
it just
want the make
hits
believe."
different. It
Yeah.
hits different. Yeah.
It does. And for some reason, I'm more emotionally attached to like the fantasy books than I am to like contemporary romance books, which is crazy because contemporary romance is more relatable. But like the fantasy is like, no, I relate to this elf like so much more. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it's just a delusion of wanting to be an elf.
Exactly. That's
no,
what it is.
she literally our book we just had our book club meeting yesterday and we do like a random, who's gonna pick the next book and she's like, I never get chosen. So she finally got chosen
I
and she's
know.
like, I'm choosing a fantasy book. You're all gonna read a fantasy book.
It's
And
like
everyone's
all
like,
of you are
okay.
reading fantasy. They all like to read like thrillers and romance, like contemporary romance. So I was like, this is my time to shine. You guys are gonna read fantasy and you guys are gonna like it. So that's so funny.
Okay, so what is a typical writing day for you? So like do you write until like inspiration hits? Do you have like a word count goal or do you just like write like as soon as you have an idea you're like I need to like write this down? Like what is your typical writing day like?
I wish I had a typical writing day. I wish I had the
She's like, I
routine.
don't know. She's like right now actually I have an idea. Hold on.
Let me pause this. Let me pause this. I need to write this. No, but it's because I work a 9 to 5, so a full-time job. Therefore, you don't
Yeah.
really have the luxury of going to the library and giving yourself like a few hours of writing time per day,
Mhm.
which is obviously what I would love to do eventually. But at the moment, what I try to do as best as I can, when I finish work, if I'm working from home, whatever, I'll like do the things that I need to do and then give myself at least like an hour or two every night to try and write. But the thing is, like, inspiration doesn't necessarily hit during those hours. So you might just be
Yeah.
staring at your computer. So really, it's like a game of lottery. Like, if some days it'll go well, some days it won't go well. I think
Yeah.
when I wrote book one, I wasn't working full time yet. I was just doing my master's. And people say that a master's is hard work, but you have so much free time. Like, you have so
She's
much free
like,
time.
she's like, I wrote my book.
Yeah.
During that time, I wrote my book.
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't get me wrong, I had my breakdowns, but when you're doing your thesis without your classes, like when I finished my classes, I had more free time, and there were days where I would just spend them writing. So book one was
Mhm.
ironically easier to write than book two.
Mm-hmm.
So now, yeah, like I said, it's really just whatever time I can find. And it's hard to also
Yeah.
juggle the time because it's a fantasy book. It is, you need to juggle not just writing it, but also world building it and plotting it as
Yeah.
a series. So it definitely takes up a lot of time. But on the weekends too, I want to try to get into the habit of going to a library because I think I
Mhm.
work best in silence.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have noise. Like it distracts me. So I can't do a
Yeah.
coffee shop. Like every time somebody
Yeah.
walks in, I'm staring like, oh, who are you? Why are you here?
That's what I do. That's what I do too. Like I'll try to sit at like the cafe, like Barnes and Noble or something, and I'm like, okay. And then as soon as someone just walks by, I'm like, what are you
Hi.
getting? Like, or like
What
I'll
are
see
you
someone talk
reading?
about a book. Yeah, I'll see someone talk about a book. I'm like, what book is that? Can I have a recommendation?
Exactly.
Like it's
Oh
distracting.
my
That makes
gosh.
Yeah.
sense. How do you develop your characters when you write your stories? So do all of your characters come to you first, or does your plot come first and then also like just dictate who your characters are? Like what's the process with that?
I think it's a mix of both. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's characters that will come naturally. I mean, for example, my main character, the story started with her. It didn't start with,
Mhm.
I want to tell this, so let me create a main character centered around that. It was most like, okay, I want to write about a girl who was, you know, destined for greatness because I love the chosen one
Yeah.
trope. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy, but I love it. So it started with that. And then based on her, I created the rest of the world. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think that her love interest also came naturally. Her friends came naturally, or like her parental
Mhm.
figures came naturally. And so there are characters that are born without you needing to plot around it, but then there are others who are like, okay, well, I need the story to move in this direction right now, so I need a character that's going to kind of change the perspective of the main character's view on life, or maybe give her a push, or maybe betray her. I don't know. Like, you know,
Mhm.
you need to kind of create
Mm-hmm.
around that. So I think it's really two-sided.
Yeah. That makes
No, that
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, because I always wonder, and Tiff and I were just talking about it last night, and I was like, do you I wonder, do they come up with a character or do they come up with the story and they're like, okay, I know this is my character, and as they're writing, they're like, oh, my character should she or he needs like a
Mhm.
second person. Like, let me just make a character, and so we had like this whole conversation about it. So that was really, I
Yeah,
was
like
really
that. What you
curious.
just said did happen in book one, actually. One character was not supposed to exist until, I mean, not late in the process, but he just didn't exist, and he
Yeah.
became actually one of readers' favorites. So, but he wasn't there
Oh
in the
my
beginning, and I
god.
just told myself like, okay, she lives in this town. She has like no friends. She should probably have one person that she
And
can.
She's supposed to have at least
so
one.
he wasn't supposed to be in there till later.
No, he wasn't supposed to even exist. Like he didn't. Wait? You have you read it?
I did. I read it.
Okay, okay,
Of
okay,
course.
She's like, wait.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, Andrew.
Yes.
He didn't exist in the
He
beginning.
fits so perfectly, like he would have. Oh my god, he did so good. He fits so perfectly.
She's
Oh,
like, I
I
never
love
would have
that.
guessed.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I love it. No, yeah, I did love it. I do love.
I know, I know.
I don't want to give spoilers if people are listening, but like, yeah, I like him.
I
She's
know.
like,
No,
yeah.
I love that. Oh, okay,
That's
sorry.
so
I was
funny.
just
That's
like,
okay.
wait.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a great transition into your book, A Destined Journey.
It is. It really
It
is.
really is. So, A Destined Journey came out in 2023, and it's the first book in your Destined series, and it is a romantasy genre book, which I love. Which yeah, I'll never turn down a romantasy book. But we've had followers on Instagram. Their tags are cozy with
Emmy.
Emmy
Emmy.
and YM Torres author, and they want to ask what inspired you to write this book.
I think okay, this is a very long-winded answer,
No,
so
go
bear with
ahead.
me.
Okay, yeah.
Um, my inspiration, ironically, comes mostly from media that I consume through television and film. Because growing up, I loved cartoons, and to this day, I still do. Like I spend my
Yeah.
time just rewatching cartoons. Either
Mm-hmm.
it's Disney or anime, whatever, DreamWorks, How to Train Your
Mm-hmm.
Dragon, like all the Barbie movies, Tinkerbell and stuff. So I think, like I said, I didn't grow up reading fantasy, but I think I grew up watching fantasy, and that's where it kind of like inspired me most. And I always just pictured myself wishing that I was, like I said, a lost
Yeah.
princess or having magical powers. And I think when it comes to writing, they say like write the book that you wish you could read, which is very true. But I think I
Yeah.
also write the book that I wish I could live. Like,
Oh,
yeah, like the main
Yeah.
I
character,
love
I wish that was
that.
me. So I think for me, my inspiration really came from all of these like cartoons that I watch, and specifically a Destined Journey. Um, is a mix of, I mean, so many, I'm not going to start naming them all, but I think it really trickles down to this cartoon called The Witch. I don't know if you guys know this. It's so underrated. It's like 5 high school girls, and they're basically chosen to be guardians of this like magical realm that Earth doesn't know exists, and they have to like bring back the princess to the rightful heir to the throne, to that kingdom. They have to protect her. And so,
It
yeah,
sounds familiar, but like I don't know. I'm
you
definitely gonna
know,
like Google it
you
though.
know, Winx
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
Yes, is
It was
that that's probably what I'm thinking.
It's
Maybe
kind of
because
like that.
they were very similar, and I think they kind of
Okay.
competed with one another, but they're both like equally good. I don't. There's no competition, you know.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's just a tangent. So yeah, for me, it was really like the cartoons that I grew up with that inspire me most, because like I said, I want to bring magic to adulthood, because I feel like growing up,
Yeah.
you kind of let go of that. When you're a kid, you're
Hmm.
like, these things are so exciting, and so yes, I want my books to be more mature and more for a more mature audience. Like I still consider them new adult, even if like in book 1 it's very slow burn and there's no spice. Like eventually, I
Hmm.
do want there to be. Um, but I want it to be like mixed in with this like magic that we lose when we're younger. So
I think that's so, and it's so fitting for like our podcast because we talk about books and their adaptations. So we're
yeah,
big on like movies and TV shows. So I love that that's actually what kind of inspired you to write your book. I'm like, that plays
yeah.
with our stuff so well.
Whenever somebody asks me like, what author inspired you, like you guys did earlier, I was like, actually, Wings
They're
Club
like, it was
inspired
the
me.
director, actually. So funny.
You're like, have you guys actually seen this cartoon, this TV show?
Can I talk about our Lord and Savior Barbie and the 12 Princesses?
God, I love Barbie.
I love that. Yes,
Those are so
please.
facts though, because the Barbie movies hit, especially
They
like the
And
hit.
older
people will
ones.
like they don't like they haven't watched it. You know you've watched it.
Yeah, you
Everyone's
watched it.
watched it. You loved
Like
it. You were singing
I
along with it.
Princess and the
exactly.
Pauper. Hello.
Oh, so good. I literally have like a
That's
Bibble
so good.
sticker on my phone.
Look at it. I
Okay,
love
I love.
it. See, they just don't know.
They don't know. They don't know what they're
They don't
missing.
know what we're, yeah.
Okay, so I've been curious and amazed with authors that can write fantasy and come up with worlds and characters and different languages. Like you guys are on a whole nother level because I could never come up with anything like that. I honestly couldn't. I have no like imagination in my brain at all. So how do you approach worlds building in your books? So I mean, because your book is a fantasy book, and I know you said you're inspired by like, your cartoon and movies and TV shows. But like, how do you build out your world? Because like when I was reading, I was like, because in your book you have like how to pronounce like the names, right? And I'm just like, how do you come up with just the fit? Yeah, like all of it, building a fantasy world, coming up with character names like that, coming up with different like languages and the things like, yeah, how do you come up with all that? That's like, God, that's a really good
It
creativity.
I mean, it's. I don't know if it's easier for some people. For me, it's definitely not that it's hard, but there's parts that will be difficult. You still need to think
Mm-hmm.
about it a lot. So I think when it came to some of the names, I am obnoxious about names, like annoyingly obnoxious. I Every single name in my book has a meaning, and every meaning is an Easter egg to certain things. Like, yeah, like so whenever I would try to pick a name for a town or a character or whatnot, I would choose, okay, what do I want it to mean, first of all?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go on Google and try to find a name that worked well. So
Oh my God.
that's how I came up with a lot of the naming conventions. Obviously, I need to calm down for doing that. Sometimes I go a bit too far, but a lot of names have special meanings for that reason. And that when it came to other stuff, I'm
Mm-hmm.
Persian, so I kind of wanted to put a little bit of Persian culture into it. Like not a lot because it is still a made up world. But for example, the Sitare, which is like their all-time creator, that means
Yeah.
star in Persian, and
Okay.
which
So a
fits
little
their
bit of your
world.
personal into the
Exactly,
I love
I
exactly.
love
that.
And
that.
like for
Yeah.
example, their new year is on well, it would be the first day of spring in the book, which is New Year for Iranians. Like our New Year is March 20th. So it's like little things like that that I implemented with knowledge that I already had. But when it
Mhm.
came to more of the fantasy side of things, I think a lot of it did come just naturally, but also a lot of times you need to sit down and just plot it out. Like, okay, I know that
Yeah,
there's
because girl,
gods.
you had a map in there, and I was like, let me zoom in on this map. Like, what? Because when I read fantasy books and there's a map, I'm like, bet, like, I need to study this map. So
Yeah,
when I'm reading, I know what's happening, and I'm not just like brushing over
yeah,
it. So like, I
yeah.
was like, I appreciate a good map in a book. So I was
Well,
like,
I'm glad
okay,
you
cool.
appreciated that because I was really nervous because I drew that map because I didn't want to pay somebody to do it because I was already paying for it a lot. And so I was really nervous about it because I was like, I don't know what a map is supposed to look like. So I'm glad it was appreciated.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I liked it. I
Yeah.
appreciate like a good map. And I love that you put like little Easter egg, your little like Taylor Swift era. You're like, hold
Oh
on, let me
yeah.
just do little Easter eggs in this book. No, that's
Oh, yeah. I
awesome.
tried to put a lot of Easter eggs, but yeah, but when it comes to world building, the only thing is really sitting down and trying to figure it out. You have to ask yourself questions like, okay,
Hmm.
if these gods exist, why do they exist? Or if this territory is like each territory, for example, is known for something. So what are they known for? It just takes a lot
Hmm.
of like Q&A, but with yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So almost like when you're a kid and you're playing like a fantasy game and you
Exactly.
come up with the rules and you're like, this is this
Exactly.
person and this is that world. You can't go over there. You have to do this. So it's kind of
Exactly.
like when you're a kid and
And I think a lot
playing
of
all these
times, I
games.
guess, I don't think you necessarily need to have everything figured out when you start writing.
Hmm.
Of course, when it's a series, there's a lot of questions you need to ask yourself and have it planned out to a certain extent. But a lot of times, my alpha readers or my friends who are reading as I'm writing, like they ask me a question, like, "Oh, can this do this?" And I'm like, "Great question. Let me figure that, and I'll come back to you."
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, maybe in a
Maybe I
little
should.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's things that you plot out beforehand, but as you're writing, there's things that are going to get added. There's new locations that are going to be created. Like you never
Hmm.
know. So it's like a never ending process.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like playing D&D. Have you played D&D?
No, but I know what, yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
familiar with it.
You
Yes,
have to like
exactly.
make up your own like person on the spot, and then you have someone
Exactly.
that's like making up a world, and they throw things at you and you're like, I guess I'll do this. Like like I guess I don't know, I'll tell a joke or something. Like it's so
Yeah.
Kim, you would probably like D&D. That'll
I
probably
probably
get you more
would.
immersed in the
I would love to play, honestly.
fantasy.
It looks
Yeah,
really
me
fun.
too. I played it once and it was
Yeah,
crazy.
Intense.
My
Oh,
friends are
that
my
does
friends
sound
are
fun.
intense.
it looks
That does
Okay.
fun.
sound fun.
On Instagram, I might say this wrong. Masso Fip
Hmm.
Okay.
asks, what was your favorite scene to write?
Oh, that's hard. Oh, yes. Okay. Um, because there's so many good ones. Okay, I'll give like top two, maybe top three.
Okay.
But ironically, the prologue. I know it's like the
Yeah.
beginning of the book, and here's where it gets funny: is I hate reading prologues. I think I'm so impatient. So when I'm reading a book and there's a prologue, I roll my eyes and I'm like, oh, I just want to get to the story. But when it
She's
comes,
like, do I have to read this
yeah,
prologue?
She Googles it. Do I have to read this? In the
so
time
bad.
she gets the answer, she could have read it. That's literally me. Because sometimes I'll get the prologues and I'm like, it'll start off and I look to see how long it is. And if it's more than like 2 pages, I'm like, do I have to read this?
I think it was Crescent City 2 or 3. I don't remember. There was one that had a prologue and I like literally skipped it. And then when I was reading the book, I'm like, I think I should have probably read it.
You're like, I don't know what is going on. Oh my god, that is literally so funny.
So I get
No,
like
I
very,
appreciate a good prologue because I feel like one time when I first started like reading again and I skipped the prologue and I just went to the first chapter, I was like, wait, what? I was
what?
like,
Yeah.
I think I have to go back. So I like went back. So now I'm like, no, I appreciate a prologue. I don't care. I will read it because I need to get like the little tidbit like before I jump into the book.
But see,
Yeah.
now that I guess am writing, I understand the need for it sometimes because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
hypocrite. I write prologues. Like I literally even book 2 has a prologue. So call me a hypocrite. I don't know, but I really loved writing my prologue ironically because I
Yeah.
just felt like it set the tone really well. I loved how we get to like meet Asen's character and like, you know, Arella, the main character, how she comes to be. And I feel like it just fit
Yes.
very nicely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was definitely one of my favorite parts to write. And then, so the book is separated into like 3 parts, part 1, 2, and
Mm-hmm.
3. I love writing part 3 because I could do whatever I wanted. Because
Yeah.
without spoiling, like there's a reason why it doesn't need to make sense where
Mhm.
she's at that book. So at that
Mm-hmm.
scene in the book. So those chapters, I loved it. And then I think it was like chapter 41. I don't remember exactly. Like the one of the last before last chapters where I just feel that chapter specifically without spoiling is really like a full circle for her journey
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and like terms of acceptance. So I really loved writing that chapter, even if it was like emotional.
I loved it. I loved her journey. I don't want to give away spoilers for people who haven't read
Mhm.
it because Tiff, I know you're not like completely done with it, but
Yeah.
like
I'm in the
I
middle of it.
loved her journey
Thank
throughout
you.
this book.
Thank you.
And yeah, no, the prologue, you have to read the prologue because like it does help, you know, it helps set the characters and it helps like get us to like, okay, where are we right now with this character? So I enjoy a prologue. I thought it was written really well.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
But you know, I loved this character and I love her journey. Definitely loved her journey. So what was the hardest scene to write and why?
So when it came to hardest scene, I don't think it's like one specific moment that was harder to write. I just hate writing descriptions. They are my hell, my personal hell. I cannot for the life of me. I just hate it. Whenever there's a chapter that's more description oriented
Yeah.
or battle oriented or things like that, I get stuck on it for weeks. And I know people say when it comes to your first draft, you need to just write it out. It doesn't matter if it's bad, just keep going. I can't. I physically can't. I edit my chapters as I'm writing, which is probably not a good
Yeah.
idea. That makes me stuck on them for weeks. But at least the editing process is a little bit easier
Yeah.
on the flip side. So yeah, descriptions are just I don't know if it's because, you know, it's not my first language. There's words that I don't know how to like I know what it is in my head, but I don't know
Mhm.
how to say it. So
Yeah.
yeah, description. But then funnily enough, people always come up to me and they're like, I love the way that you describe this. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
You're
You're
like,
like, really?
you're like, it took me like 10 edits, but thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
This chapter took me like 2 months, but I appreciate it.
You're like, can I just like insert a picture? Like, can I just put like a sketch of what I thought, what I was thinking? And then that's how you guys can envision it.
I do see my book as a movie, right? And I think that also comes from the fact that I get inspired by movies and
Mm-hmm.
cartoons and stuff. So in my head, it's so clear and it's so movie like perfect. And then I have to write it down. I'm like, oh God, okay.
You're like, if this ever gets picked up and turned into something, you're like, I'm ready. I know
Yeah.
exactly how I want it to
Let's go.
look. I know exactly, but ask me to write it and detail it out. I can't.
Okay, so earlier we talked about characters, and I'm curious, which character in your book do you relate to the most and why?
That's an easy one just because I mean, I literally wrote Arella for me. Like, so of
Yeah.
course
Yeah.
it's going to be Arella. That's my main character for those obviously who haven't read the book. But I think, like I said, I write stories that I want to live. So evidently, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to put myself a little bit into the main character.
Mhm.
There's going to be some differences. Of course, I'm not a warrior. I don't have magical
Yeah.
powers. I don't relate to her in that sense. I'm not like
It's like,
achieving
actually, hold on.
I've got enemies after me right now. No, no, but in terms of like, for example, her desire to want to explore the world, but like at the same
Mm-hmm.
time being fearful of it, or it's
Mhm.
like really like her characteristics that I try to bring into Arella's journey because I'm sure that there's others out there who will probably relate as well. So I would definitely say Arella, but I do see myself in little bits and pieces in other characters, like the love interest, for example. He's somebody who's very always puts others first, always takes care of others
Yeah.
before himself. Yeah, so I,
Oh my God, I
I
love him.
oh,
It's like,
that makes
oh my God, I totally love him.
makes me so happy because I
I
was so
love a good,
insecure
like,
about
I
him.
love a romance. No, I'm just always like, I was like, girl, that's your man. As I'm reading it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, I love it.
That's a relief because my friend always jokes about this. She's like, you're like Caleb's biggest hater in the sense that I'm so scared that I'm not writing him well, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I need to chill.
Yeah.
You're like, I know.
That's my
You're like, I just
baby.
want to do everybody justice. It's fine.
Yeah. So I definitely feel like I do relate to that. Like I feel I do tend to take care of people, but then when it comes to Endry, I really wrote him
Mm-hmm.
as like a symbol, I think, for everybody. I think everybody can relate to him to a certain extent because we're all, especially readers, we're all dreamers
Yeah.
at the end of the day. We're all very hopeful, and that's why we read. So I think Endry
Yeah.
is such a moral compass also for Arella. I think he just, I love him so much.
I know. And I'm so glad that you like wrote him in when you told me like you weren't even planning on it. I was like, girl, like that was like one of my favorite characters. Like, what? What do you
I know.
mean?
Like,
He's a lot
why?
of yeah, he's like a fan favorite or a reader favorite. Like people always come up to me and they're like, "Oh my god, I love Andrew," and I'm like, "That is so funny because he did not exist
Yeah.
before."
Yeah, like that's
You're like, I'm glad you do
crazy.
because he wasn't
Yeah.
gonna be there.
She's like, thank goodness somebody does because I was not ready for him.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like the way that he came to be was so out of nowhere. I was watching. I don't know if you know the TV show Dynasty with
Yes.
Yeah.
Fallon and yes, okay.
Yes. Love that show.
So I was like simping for her boyfriend Liam. You know, in fact,
Yeah.
okay. So I loved Liam. So initially Andrew's name was actually Liam. It wasn't Andrew. So I don't know why I was like, I want to have a character called Liam. And then I was like, Arella doesn't really have any friends. Like I don't want her to have a full circle because that's a huge thing of her character. Like she's kind of a
Yeah.
loner in the beginning of the book. Um, but then I'm like, but I feel like she should have somebody, somebody that
Mm-hmm.
like pushes her forward and is like I said, a moral compass. And then I was like, let me just create this guy who's called Liam. And that's literally why it's how it started.
She's like, I love this show and I love that name, and we're just gonna go off that.
Yeah.
And then I then got changed to Andrew because I felt it fit better. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, if it's like the world, your realm. I love it. I love that
And
character.
I think it means dreamer if I'm not mistaken. So
Works.
perfect.
No, there's like I'm trying to find it because we're talking about Endry because I highlighted it when I was reading my books. I was like, oh my god, I love this so much.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just trying to find it. And it's like early. It's like chapter 2 when they're going back and forth, and then he's
Mhm.
just like, when are you ever gonna like, you know what I mean? You always want
Live
to do
like
it.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, girl. I was like,
And she's
highlight.
and she's kind of like, damn, Andrew's giving me shit right now.
I know. Oh, it's like always a pleasure. And he calls her like dreamer. And I'm just like, oh my God. Always a pleasure, Belly. Always a pleasure, dreamer. And I was like, yes. I was like, highlight. I was like, I
That's
love
like
that.
my favorite. I think that's my favorite quote of the entire book, and it's such a not even like a quote, but I always love saying always a pleasure, dreamer. I think it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I highlight. Girl, I was like, highlight. I love that.
She said, I'm saving this for later. I love
Yeah,
this.
I was like, when I read, I'm just like and it could just not mean anything to anybody, but if it's just like one little line and it like touches me, or I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like, highlight. I love that part. You know what I mean? No, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Instagram, I think it's Etheridge Kaylee asks, how did you know the book was ready and what hurdles did you cross that told you were done? I guess like yeah, how do you know when like you're like this is where it's
How
gonna
do you
end?
know
It's
when
done.
yeah.
Because I feel like you could keep going. I mean,
That's
you're
the
gonna have
thing. I don't
yeah.
think you ever really know. I don't think you ever are done with it in the sense that a year from now, I could come up with an idea where we're like, damn, I should have added that to book one,
Mhm.
or the amount of editing that goes into a book. Like you could keep editing, you could always make it better. That's just the reality of a book. But I
Yeah.
think the best way to put it is like you're done when you've said what needs to be said. I
Mhm.
think that's how I would see it for me. I think obviously the process is different for other people, but sometimes I talk to my friend and I tell her, "Oh, I'm wondering if I rushed to book one," because also I self-published, right? So I didn't necessarily have the developmental edits, the copywriting edits, the line editing, the proof editing. I didn't
Yeah.
have the entire process. Like, I'm still lucky that I was able to at least invest in one editor. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I wonder, I'm like, maybe I should have tried traditional publishing. Maybe I should have just invested into an extra editor. Whatever, like, it's an investment, who cares
Yeah.
about the price or whatnot? And then she always tells me, like, okay, but would you have actually changed anything about the book? Like, put
At
grammar
the end
aside
of the
and stuff.
day.
Yeah, at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, is there anything you would genuinely change? And I realized my answer is no, because
Mhm.
no, I feel like everything that was supposed to be said in that book was said. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, oh, maybe I should have, I don't know, added more romance and whatnot. But I'm like, no, it wouldn't work. My whole point is that it's a
Mm-hmm.
slow burn. So
Yeah.
y- I think it really just as when you're done saying what you have to say. And then depending on, like, obviously when you want to publish, I put like more pressure on myself. Like, I wanted it out by 2023. I was like, I need to get the ball rolling. It's been years that I want to be an author. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to spend an additional 10 years on this?
Yeah.
How long did it take you up to the day that you published it? How long did it take you to write the story?
So I started to plot it out in November 2021 ish,
Okay.
December 2021. I really started writing January 2022. So I would say all in all, like, about 2 years.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Up to the
2
publishing day, about
years.
2 years.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. Oh my God. That's like, yeah, that's crazy
I mean, it takes longer for some people too. Like, it was such a different process for people.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this book and your upcoming books, what message do you hope readers will take away from your work?
I think, okay, I won't, obviously, in the later books, there'll be other messages, so I won't talk about those. But when it comes
Mm-hmm.
specifically to book one, I would say that it's really centered around the fact that it's okay to be brave to chase your dreams, or even if you don't know what your dreams are, it's okay to kind of take the time to figure it out. And I think that's something that Arella really struggles with, because she wants to move outside of her town, but she's like, okay, well, what
Mm-hmm.
what would I do? I don't even know what I would want to do. And she's kind of held back by this fear of, she's safe where she is. There's comfort where she is. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that also comes with another message that I feel is really important, is that change is hard, but, like, we need to accept it. And there's actually one of my favorite quotes from a Barbie movie. Um, literally, wait, I need to quote it well. I think it's her animal companion. This is like, life is full of change, most of it good, but not always easy. And that's literally what
Let's see,
Arella
like
goes.
life
See,
lessons.
Barbie
Hello.
Barbie slaps, and if you don't watch Barbie, I don't know what you're doing, because I'm not there. The quotes in those movies, like,
I
they didn't need
know.
to go that hard.
Did not.
They
There's
really
one. Okay,
didn't.
I'm gonna talk about it now since it's not in my book, but there's one that I really love. It's in Fairytopia, where she meets that Azula, I think, the blue fairy, and she's sitting at the table, and there's like a bunch of plates, and Barbie's like, "Oh, are you waiting for somebody?" And she's like, "These are for the friends I haven't met yet." And I was like,
Oh my god,
I
I
love
love it.
that. Oh my
Just so
God.
listen. If you're not watching Barbie, I need you to start watching any animated Barbie movie that
any
you
of
can
them.
come across. Watch it. That's it.
She's going to be like, hold on, I'm going to wake my kids up. You guys, we're going to
Yeah,
watch Barbie
we're
right
gonna
now.
watch Barbie right now.
Can I come over?
Get in
I'm
here,
gonna
the
join.
Nutcracker. We're getting it.
Oh my God, I love those movies.
I know.
So yeah, I think it's really about, like, embracing change and growing into yourself, believing in yourself, and kind of just deciding that no matter what, you'll try your best. And I think that wraps up Lorella's journey in book one a little bit, and the main messages.
No, it does.
I
No, I
love
think
that.
it's so true. Change is hard and it's like, but it's sometimes needed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and that's something that I struggle
And
with. So
yeah,
Mhm.
I really like that. Like I said, I loved her journey throughout this book and just everything she went through. So I love that that's like your message. That's what you hope people get. And I was like, yeah,
mhm,
I really love this book.
I really appreciate it. It makes me really happy.
Okay. So with that being said, what has been the most rewarding part about being an author and publishing, your books and
Mhm.
everything?
There's so many. I mean, I think to start off, it's rewarding to have accomplished something that you've wanted to do for a long time, even if it doesn't necessarily go anywhere past that, I guess. It's just,
Mhm.
Hmm.
wow, finally, like, you did it, like, good job, past mini Sarah, whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if not, I think the most rewarding part is when readers come up to you and tell you that a character really hit them hard,
Mm-hmm.
or they really related to this character. Like recently, a reader came up to me. Well, she messaged me. She didn't come up to me physically, but she came up to me.
She just came up to your door. Excuse me, I have to
She's
tell you
like,
about this real
she's
quick.
right at her window. She's like, it's me. I love your books.
She's like, that's the most rewarding part.
She's like, this person back here, my stalker.
Yeah, she messaged me and she was saying how Arella helped her see the good in the world again. And I was like, damn.
Oh my god.
That's
That
like,
is so sweet.
and I think, for me, characters who are a bit softer, a bit more gentle, are characters that I love a lot. And I think in fantasy,
Mhm.
sometimes we don't tend to, especially lately, we don't really have that as much. It's always generally like the more warrior type assassins and
Yeah.
baddies and sassies, which I love. Don't get me wrong.
Fourth wing for sure.
Yeah.
Wing, I
It's
mean,
very, yeah.
Galen and Full of Glass. I could go on and on. They're usually very much around that kind of trope, which is great. It's super fun to read. But I think people tend to forget that just because a character is softer doesn't mean that they're weak,
Yeah.
The strength, their own kind of strength. And that's Arella's strength. Like she, even with everything that happened to her, which is quite a lot, I would say, she she still sees the good in the world. And like obviously she needs to learn to also not be naive, which anyways.
She's like, that could be everybody.
Anybody. And so yeah, that's when it's rewarding, when people come up to you and tell you just like, I love this character, or you healed a part of me, or one of my friends who alpha reads from time to time, she told me that she relates to Caleb, and I wasn't expecting that at all. Like to
Mhm.
me, Caleb was like, oh, he's the love interest. Like I wasn't even hoping for somebody to relate to him, but she got so attached to him, and I was like, that's really what it is. Like I want to have characters, not just Arella, but like any character that people can see themselves in. And I think that's what Sarah J. Maas does really well when it comes to like her character, the complexity of her characters. And yeah, I just want to heal people. I guess I want to make them feel good, and
Aw.
that's where it originally came from too. When I was 15 years old, I just wanted to make people feel a certain way. So I think
Yeah.
that's really rewarding.
I love that.
Too. Okay, so what is next for you? So we've been seeing on your Instagram that you've been posting teasers and official like title for book 2 in the series. What can you give us without like giving us spoilers? Or what do you want to give us?
Okay.
She's like, nothing.
Nothing.
She's like, whatever's on my Instagram, that's what you get.
Yeah,
so
that's
go to
what
my
you get,
Instagram.
and that's it.
No, I will say that book 2 is very, I think we're going to meet a lot of new characters, like a
Mhm.
lot of new characters. I think Arella's really going to have more relationships, and she meets more people who kind of are going to change her for the better. Like she'll really see inspiration in some of these characters, people that
Mhm.
she will look up to, but also those people will evidently see her as who she is, and like as a, not just like their savior or whatever, but actually get attached to her as a person. So
Mhm.
definitely more Lost Family vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Lost Family vibes. And sorry, not Lost Family. What did I say? Found Family.
Found families.
Family.
Yeah.
She's like, lost family too. You lost. Come on, you're.
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough,
found
sure.
you. Come on.
We're gonna find people. Sure.
I found you. Come on, you're good. You're part of the family.
I
I'm gonna
love a
adopt
found
you.
family trope.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
That's literally like one of my favorite things ever. Because I'm like, you attached to this person? I love it.
I love
Mhm.
it. It's so good. And I think that's probably what we also love in fantasy books. It's very common to have a found family because they go on this
Mhm.
adventure and they meet all these characters. And I think in book 1 we have a little bit of it with Zaylin and stuff, but it's not, like I said, she doesn't really meet that many characters compared to book 2. So definitely more found family, a lot of romance that will be blossoming.
Yay!
I love it.
We're gonna up
Yay!
the slow burn a little bit and finally hope maybe
She's like, let's turn up that heat just a little bit.
maybe
Let's go from
people
low
will
to medium.
give people a little bit of what they want, maybe. And yeah, like I think there's also, again, lots of adventure. It's a destined pursuit, right? So she's searching for something.
That's always a fun adventure too to read. to go on a journey with him. When is that one set to release? Or do you know?
I don't have an exact date. I'm really hoping by like fall 2025. So next, like upcoming fall, basically.
Yeah.
If things go well. Like I said, book 2 is really taking me longer to write because of work, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh,
It's okay.
fingers
I believe.
crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. Definitely, you can do it.
Okay, so looping back to our opening segment,
Please.
I want to know more about the cosplay because I love. Okay, I can't cosplay for the life of me. Okay, there's nothing I could do for that, but I love seeing people cosplay. I have friends that cosplay, so I just
You
want to
are
talk
so
about it.
cute in your
How long?
cosplay.
Yeah,
I'm
how long have you been
obsessed.
doing it? Like, what got you even into that? Just like I don't know. I just want to know.
Yeah. I think there was always an interest to cosplay because I think when I was like 17, 18, I started to attend Otakuton, which is the anime convention here in Montreal,
Mhm.
similar to Comic-Con and whatnot, but it's very anime focused. So I would see people in cosplay and be like, oh my God, I want to dress up too. I just like kept postponing it. You know what? You know how it is. You just like never
Yeah.
do it, never do it, never do
You're
it.
like, one day I'll do it.
One day, next year. And sometimes I would just kind of like outfit bound. Like I would wear something that felt like a character, but it wasn't like full on cosplay.
Mhm.
So what really like had me started was Akatar, ironically.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I just fell in love with Feyre so badly. Like I don't think I've ever loved a character as much as I love Feyre. And so this was during the book talk rise when I was noticing like, oh, people are like cosplaying book characters. This is new. I've never
Yeah.
seen this. So I started off just like, okay, I was wearing a black outfit. I'm like, okay, I'm Feyre in the Night Court right now. And then I was like, let me buy a wig. Let's see how it goes. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
should I try contacts? And I had a fear of putting things in my eyes. Like I think the first time I
Yeah.
was gonna put the blue contacts in, it took me like 30 minutes. I was sweating. I was like, oh dear God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Just like, do I really want to keep doing this?
But I loved Feyre enough to push through, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how it began. I think that's really what started up my cosplaying. For a long time, it was really just Feyre, but then I started to expand into Manon from Thorn of Glass, and then I was like, why am I not doing characters that I've wanted to do since childhood? Like, I just
Yeah.
recently ordered like Rapunzel from Tangled and Jasmine from Aladdin.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jasmine is my favorite
I
princess. You
growing
look
up.
so cute. I cannot wait to see you. It looks so good.
I
Yeah,
love it. We have a Ren fair out here coming up in October, and I told
Okay.
Kim I want to go, and I want this to be my opportunity to dress up as a
You
character.
should.
I want to go as Nesta because I love I'm a Nesta girly, okay? And I told Kim, I was like, I'm gonna have like the whole outfit with like when she's coming out of the water, which Kim doesn't know, she doesn't read
God,
it, but I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to
I'm like,
with the
okay.
crown and the mask. I just like I want to do all that, and Kim's like, okay, I'll wear a cape, and I was like,
like,
just wear a cape.
I was like,
you
just
have to
tell
dress
me.
up with me.
I was like, just tell me what to dress and I will dress it and I will
We
go
have
to
to go all out.
Kim could be like Gwen or Emery, like just like wear the white. Like you
Yeah,
could be a Valkyrie. There you go.
Okay.
exactly.
Send me the
She doesn't
Tiff,
know
send
what
me
it
the pic-
is, but I'll send you a picture, and you're gonna dress up, and I'll have to speak for you. And someone asks what you're dressed as, so it's fine. Draw here.
Good.
I was just gonna say one of my close friends does Nesta, so we do like Feyre and Nesta together, or like Aelin and
I love
Manon
it.
together. Yeah, that also helped. Like finally meeting somebody who cosplays with you definitely
Mhm.
pushes you. So she's gonna be Belle when I do like Rapunzel or Jasmine, and like we usually
Oh,
go to
I love
Comic Con
that.
together and all. Yeah. And I really I'm trying to learn how to sew now. I bought a sewing machine in 2020 that I never used, so now's the time.
You're like, this is the time. This is the year.
Yeah.
On top of my book writing, this is the year.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna get into.
I am burnt out.
I know I saw that you did recently the character from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
was
gosh.
so cute. I'm so excited for the movie. Are you
No.
serious? Like,
Oh my God. I like How to Train Your Dragon. Like I am annoyingly obsessed with it. I don't know if you've seen the TV show on Netflix.
yes.
Mhm.
I have like an
Yeah.
11-year-old son, so like he's obsessed. We're all obsessed
Okay,
over here.
okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people don't know about it. And I'm like, that's literally the best part of the franchise. One of the
Yeah.
best parts.
It's so good.
There's so much like character development. There's so much, friendship and like the romance between Hiccup and Astrid is so
Yes. I love like when there's like a movie, and then they do like a TV series like spin-off because I'm just like, yeah. Like every time we watch a movie, my son and I, if it's like animated or whatever, he's like, do you think like someone's gonna turn it into like a TV series? I was like, yeah, this looks like something that will be like turned into a show. And
Mhm.
he's like, okay, cool, because I want to like know more. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you
yeah,
want
same.
to know more.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
I
it was so good. I was like,
definitely.
she's so.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, I love that.
I really want to like improve the Asha cosplay because I want to do her wedding dress. That's like my goal. I want to try
Oh
to
my
sew it if
God.
I can, but we'll see. We'll see.
I believe.
Yes.
With the power of
She's like,
cosplay, I believe.
yes, you could do it. You could really do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are hitting the end of our segment and we just have some fun like questions we want to ask you. It's nothing like serious, just kind of like a this or that and just like a little bit of questions. So my first one is, if a Destined Journey was turned into a movie or a show, who would you want casted as your Caleb and as Orella?
Oh my god.
She's
I
like,
already thought about this. I
I've
have a
been
list.
brewing.
Okay. The thing is,
She's like, please tag these actors. No.
Yeah. They need to read so that way they can play them.
okay, the problem for Caleb is I literally cannot find anybody. So if somebody knows, like genuinely, let me know because I've tried. I can't, even when I'm doing like edits, I don't know who to use. There's nobody that has brown hair and green eyes. Like, why is this so difficult to find, you know?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know when it comes to Caleb. But when it comes
She's
to
like,
Arella,
Chip's like, hold on, I'm gonna search
looking
it.
at-
I will give you time to do that. So I think right now, I don't know if she would still fit because she's older now. But the thing is, whenever I do edits of Arella, I always use Adeline Kane from Rain, Mary from Rain. That like,
Yes.
so I have a really hard time picturing anybody else. But I think now she's older, so she doesn't have that same like, you know, face that
The
she did
same in the
in Rain. So I need to look into, because the thing is, a lot of times I joke that like I would just play Arella.
You're like, it's me.
You're like, it's me, obviously. What do you think?
She's like, and then cast whoever for everybody else, but it's me. She's like, I can make my own costumes. Thank you. Okay,
Chris
maybe
Pratt came up.
no. I feel like no, that
That's
doesn't work for me. Mm-mm.
And then there's Harry Styles.
I don't see him as Caleb. No.
And there's the guy that's in Supernatural. I don't remember his name. I don't know.
I
who
don't know
guy-
that show
I
either.
don't know his
There's
actor.
one actor.
Paul Rudd.
Wait.
Okay, too much.
Oh no,
I'm just
not him.
naming people. Okay, I'm just naming.
She's like, not Ant-Man.
not.
No. There is one that my friend showed me, but things I don't know his name, but he's a lot older now. This was like when, and during his younger times, he would have been good. It was apparently he did like, was he Superman? I don't think, maybe it was Superman. I honestly don't remember his name. It was like a TikTok edit of somebody. Superman.
I love the TikTok edits.
No.
Seriously?
Of people. It's so silly. I love it.
Let me
just
see if
keep
I
getting
can.
a lot of Henry Cavill.
I mean, Henry
I
Cavill
love him.
was the inspiration for Asen, so
You're like,
my
she's
God.
like, cast him for sure.
for sure.
Let me see.
I'm gonna try to find one of the edits she like shared to me.
I'm thinking, I think I can see the person if I'm thinking of who she's thinking of, but I'm trying to, every time I type in Superman, like I keep getting like all these older ones. Like,
Yeah, I
no,
keep
this is
getting
not what
Superman
I want.
from like the 1900s.
Yeah, maybe not.
I can't. I'm like black and white. No, thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna pull up a different movie that I think this guy was in. Hold on. Is it Tom Welling? During the Smallville era, like I could have. Yeah, this is. I could see it.
Yeah, when he was younger, it was Tom Welling.
As soon as you're like, she said something from Superman, I was like, I know exactly. I found him because I googled Cheaper by the Dozen because I love Cheaper.
Oh my God, yes.
When I typed Superman, I was like, I can't. It's Smallville is the show he was on, but I'm like typing Superman. I'm like, nothing is coming up, but I know this man was in Cheaper by the Dozen, so I'm gonna go.
So I'm gonna look up Cheaper by the Dozen. Here we are.
I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, what are you like with your busy time of writing and working and learning how to sew? Are you currently reading anything, or what? If you are, like, what are you currently reading?
Yeah, so I recently finished rereading The Hunger Games and then Sunrise on the Reaping, which
Yes, I'm on part
I
2
haven't
of
read it
Sunrise on the
yet.
I'm halfway through.
oh my god,
I'm not ready. I can't.
it's like you think you're ready because you kind of, I mean, have you read, yeah, do you know the
Yes, I
things you would know
reread
about
Hunger. I reread. Yeah, I did it
okay,
all,
okay.
but I'm still not ready.
You're
I'm
no,
like,
I'm not ready for it.
you're not, because the thing is, even if you know these things, she really played the propaganda angle really well. Like
mhm.
I think she's genuinely my favorite writer.
Yeah,
She's
she did.
amazing. I know. She's that book,
I have
honestly.
FOMO.
You
Oh,
have to read it, Tiff. She
are you
doesn't
guys
read
I've
it.
read everything else, but I
okay?
haven't read this one
Okay.
yet. So I'm waiting. I'm in like a reading slump right now. I can't for
Yeah, I
some
get
reason
that.
get into anything. So I'm like,
I understand.
okay, I have
This
FOMO.
would be
Everyone's
the
talking
one.
about all these amazing books, and I'm over here like, I've started 7 and I haven't gone past like chapter 1. I
She's
don't
like, I
know.
haven't gone past the prologue on each of these books.
Yeah.
And I skip it. So that tells a lot. But I
We're the
want to read
same
it. It's
person.
on my list. Okay. I want to read it. Yeah,
No,
it's
but
on my
yeah,
list.
yeah, it's just so much better than I even thought it was going to be. And it's like you think you know what's going to happen, but then you don't. And like things just don't happen the way that you would have assumed them to happen. I think that's really
Mhm.
what it is. And again, like she said, this book is about propaganda, so
Yeah.
it's obvious, like very obvious.
Yeah.
No, I think it's so good. That's what I'm currently reading right now. And I can't wait for the movie to come out. We're definitely gonna do a whole Hunger Games segment on our when that movie comes out next year. So we'll
Oh my
definitely
god, I can't wait to
loop
listen to
we'll
that.
loop
Yeah,
back around. Maybe you can be a guest on it because I feel like you'd be perfect for
I
it.
would
Yeah,
She's
love
like,
that.
I'm
literally.
gonna dress up, so
My
She's like,
Katniss
we can all
cosplay ready.
cosplay.
yeah.
I'm gonna cosplay as
Send me.
Oh,
Peeta.
because you did dress up for the book, right? When you
I
went to go get the
did.
book.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh
I
my god,
dressed
I
up as
love
Katniss, and
that.
actually, like, I think rereading them recently made me remember how much I loved Hunger Games. 'Cause yes, I rewatched the movies, but
Yeah.
honestly, reading them really like it reminded me like, oh, this is why I was so like passionate about this in high school. And I think before Feyre, there was Katniss. Like Katniss was probably my first
Yes.
comfort character. I just didn't realize what a comfort character was at the time, you know. But thinking
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
I would wear my pin to school. I would ask my friend to French braid my hair
Braid
because
my
I
hair.
didn't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I know. I
very
read. I we would like rewatch the movie all the time because it's always on. So like
much.
we always watch it. Like that's fine. This is the first time I actually like picked up the books again. It's been a
Mhm.
very long time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when I read it, I was like, this is amazing. I was like, I don't remember like
Yeah.
rereading it now,
Yeah.
especially after you know everything that's happened. It's like you have a whole new perspective when you're reading it, right?
Mhm.
And so I
We're
love
also
it.
older, right? So I think when I was
Yeah.
reading it, I was in high school. So I was kind of, in the age range that these kids are going to the games. And yes, this is awful and they're kids, but reading it as an adult, you're like, this is a baby. You're killing
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
baby. Ugh, it's
Oh my God.
just, I know.
Tip, you have to read the book. It's so
I
like
know. I'm gonna read it now. You guys listen. If I pick it up and I can't get past the first chapter, I'm gonna be devastated
no,
because
the
No.
I'm like,
you will like trust me. You're gonna be
okay.
like stuck.
Yeah.
She's gonna sit there with her book and her Barbie playing, and she's gonna be like, "This is my weekend."
This is what I'm here for, okay? Probably needed a hug, but I'm reading
I'm
this
reading,
instead, okay?
yeah. I think you're going to need a hug after reading.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, I believe it.
No, that is my goal to finish it. I want to fit. My goal was to finish it last weekend, and then last weekend I didn't even like pick up a book at all. And so I was like, okay, my goal is to finish it. I want to finish it this weekend. Like I want to be done with this book, and I want to like feel what everybody's feeling because I'm already have so many emotions, but I know there's more. So I was like, that is my goal is to finish this
Yeah,
book.
no, I teared up a little bit throughout the book, but what really made me cry was the ending and then the epilogue. The epilogue.
Ah! Oh my God. Okay,
Oh my
to finish
Yeah.
gosh.
reading it.
Besides that, I'm reading Wings of Starlight, which is the new Tinkerbell book. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, wait, what?
Okay, okay.
What?
Let me talk about this. So, have
Please,
you
I love Tinkerbell. Hello.
do you remember the fourth movie when she goes to the Winter Woods because she's looking
Yeah.
for
Yes,
her
I remember
sister?
all.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
okay.
love it.
So You know how Queen Clarion was actually in
Mhm.
love with the Lord of Winter, but then he broke his
Yes.
wing? Okay, so this
Hello,
is
the
the
Lord of Winter.
backstory.
Yeah.
I know. Hello there.
Hear me out. Here you go.
The Lord of Winter. That would be on her cake for
We
sure.
don't judge, okay? These animated characters like did something to us.
They're so much better.
It's
Please.
so true.
Now,
Have you guys seen, since we're talking about, have you guys seen that movie? What is it? It's like the Guardians and there's like Jack
Guardians
Frost.
of the
and-
Galaxy. Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not that one.
No,
But
yeah.
the
Guardians of
Easter Rabbit.
Wait, Rise of
yes.
the Guardians. Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah, Rise of
sorry.
the Guardians. Yeah. The Easter Rabbit, like, there's no need
She's
for him
like,
to be.
hear
There's
me
no-
out.
Hear me
She's like,
out.
what?
There's no need for him to talk that way, and it's stupid. Okay, anyways, back to
Has a nice
Tinkerbell. Let's
voice.
talk about enough about that.
You two should do a segment on Hear Me Out on like media. on
Literally, mine's
cartoons.
gonna be
We should.
crazy.
That'd be
We
really fun.
want to, because every time we talk about whatever, every segment we do, we always end up like we are like Harry Potter obsessed. So we're
Mhm.
like, hello, like Zaddy Lucius, you got like Zaddy Draco, like we love
Sirius Black.
Sirius Black.
How do you
Come
feel
on.
about the reboot?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
The casting that's coming out slowly, I'm for it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I could see it. We did a whole segment on Harry Potter, and doing the segment, we realized that like there's actually a lot in the book that the movie didn't do. A lot of storylines, and what I'm hoping with the TV series is that they focus on those storylines that we did not get in the movies, and I hope they could do it. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
stuff that you guys didn't have time for in the movie, like with Lupin and what's her name?
Tonks.
Tonks, and like they have like an epic love story in the book series that the movie has they don't really do anything for it, and I really hope that they do it in the TV show. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm always open to reboots and stuff like that. So I hope they do good.
Yeah.
I think that's their
all.
point. By making it a TV show, they probably want to have more time for the
Yeah,
details. So hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I know.
I've never watched the Harry Potter movies, so it doesn't affect me much. I know.
I love Harry Potter.
I need to read them honestly and just get into it, because when I was younger I was scared of it. That's why. I think I watched the first and second and it freaked me out for some reason.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Tiff's like she usually likes to start the movies at like the third, right, Tiff?
I started the third one. I don't know why. Well, when I was younger, I liked the first two movies, but then now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, I know what happens. I know what's going on. I'm gonna start on the third one because that's what I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's
I
what
don't
I
know.
hear though. People who tell me to watch it now, because I've tried to binge watch them or marathon them. I started the first movie and I'm like, "Ugh, I'm so bored. Like I can't do this.
Yeah,
they
the
say,
first
like-
two are boring to me, and it's like because they're just really just trying to set the tone of like the world
Yeah.
and the characters. Once you get into like the third one, that's when like an actual plot of like the end game starts.
Yeah,
And
so
you're
maybe
like,
I should do
okay.
that. Just like
Yeah.
go to the third movie, because I kind of know who they are and what the
Yeah.
storyline is. So yeah, maybe I should just do
Yeah.
that.
I like the first two. I'm opposite.
Those are her
Because
favorite.
those are like comfort for me. Like Harry Potter was probably my very first. Harry Potter is like my first book that I read when I was in like 5th grade, and that's what started like my initial love for reading. And the first two movies just like give me this like comfort. It's like when I'm just like I
No,
love
I
it.
get that though. I understand. I
There's
think
like a comfort with it.
it's kind of like, I mean, this is a comparison for a book, but you know, and you haven't read Throne of Glass, I don't think, but Tiffany might have.
I have not.
I stopped at Crown of Midnight, so
Okay,
I'm
no,
yeah.
not very far yet.
Yeah, that's all I have. That's all
But-
I've got going for me.
But it's the same vibes, like Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, the first two books. They have like this comfort to them because like
Mhm.
you don't have all of the dramatic plot yet. It's just like Selena and her friends, and it's a smaller group. So I understand like the first movies of something will always have a certain type of comfort because they're also less hurtful because less sad stuff happens.
I
right?
know. And then sadder things happen, but then also you get like more of like, hello, who are these characters?
Yeah.
I'm like, hi. As
I
it
hate
gets
you.
further.
I hate you.
Whatever. You know, smut is like my thing right now.
I know.
It's like my favorite
God.
genre. And I never knew that was like, so I know we're like backtrack or like we're going off topic here, but like prior to when this podcast started, we decided like, okay, I'm going to be like the movie person and my sister will be the books person because she's like heavy on her book journey.
Okay, you're related.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
You
yeah,
look
we're
really
sisters.
similar, but I didn't want to be
Yeah.
like, are you guys sisters or something? You're like, no.
No,
Like,
I
no,
don't even
no,
know this girl.
no, we've never met. No.
Don't know who this is.
No, so she's like the book person. And so when we started doing this podcast, and I was like, okay, well, let me read the books for the movies that we're going to do. And then it sort of snowballed into like, okay, well, like what books are there? And my sister was like, okay, well, try this one. I'm like, okay. So I read it and I'm like upset. It was like the Raven Hood series. And I'm like obsessed. And then it just like snowballed now until it was like, I like binge read like the Fourth Wing series. And then when Onyx Storm came out, I texted her. I was like, okay, I got it. Let's read it. And I'm like texting her and she's like, you're too far ahead. Stop texting
She
me.
finished before I did. She goes, oh my God, this chapter. I said, stop talking to me right now because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not even there yet. Okay.
So like
I
my
don't know what you're
book
talking about.
journey has definitely like expanded and I'm just like I didn't know like these were like these are the type of fantasy books that there are now. These like romance books, these sports romance. Like I never thought I would like sports romance, but here I am reading like baseball romance, football romance. And I'm like, I love it. I love a good romance. And I'm just like, I love all these books. And then now reading like fantasy books, like your book. And then I'm just like, look at all these like, I love it. I love reading.
I love reading.
I love reading.
So sweet though. You've like embarked on your reading journey.
I know. I love it. I love seeing her because she would not like a year ago. She would not be like, I would be like, oh my God, I just read this book. She was like, okay, I love that for you.
Right
and now
there.
she's like, I read this book. And I said, I already read it.
I know. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I have to catch up on so many books that I missed like during this time. Like, I was like, I need to do a whole catch up. Like, I didn't know these all existed. And now, but that's just like separate conversation. Are you an enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
Enemies to lovers.
Me too. I love
Me
a good.
too. I don't like a friends to lovers
Me
trope
either.
unless it has to be done like right.
Yeah,
like it has to be done like it has to be so specific that I want it like to read it.
Exactly.
Like I don't even know what book. There's a book that I read where it was like they were friends before and then they lost connection because of life and then they reconnected again and they were still friends. They never left on bad terms and then they became lovers and I was like, oh, I love that. I eat that up. I don't want her to fall in love with her best friend that's like always with her all the time because then I'm like,
yeah. And then I think a lot of times the friend to lover is also based on the trope of she falls first and then he suddenly she has a glow up or something. He's like, oh, and I don't like that. I hate when the girl falls first for some reason. Like I
love it when the guy falls first.
Yeah.
I know.
The guy falls first
you.
And she's oblivious to it. She's like, I don't like that.
Exactly.
And then later on she's like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, we love a good enemies to lovers too. I love when I love a good banter. And then I'm just like, come on, you guys, get together. You know you want to.
I love it when they try to kill each other. That's my favorite. Is like they're like constantly trying to kill each other. And then eventually they're like, well, why are we doing this? Well, I don't know. You started it. Okay, well, I love your eyes.
You would like the Book of Azrael if you haven't read it yet.
I haven't read it, but it's on my Kindle.
You would like it.
Yeah, I was going through books to put on my Kindle when I get out of my reading slump, and it's on there. So okay, cool. They try to kill each other.
Too. The writer, I mean, she's really nice. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love it. So since we're on the topic of like, well, obviously books, do you prefer paperback or hardcover?
Paperback for reading, hardcover for like trophies.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Tiff is like, I have like 4 versions of this book.
Oh yeah.
Literally, I can't.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say when I was in my like most intense part of the ACOTAR phase, because this was when the covers had just changed. So I had like the first book in the original cover, but then the rest in the newer covers. And then I was like, I need to collect them all. Like these are my Pokemons. Like, so I have like the original covers in paperback, the original covers in hardcover, and then I have the new covers in paperback and the new covers in hardcover. I don't
I
know
love
what
it.
was.
I love it.
It was crazy.
She's like, these are the ones that you're allowed to read. These ones you can look at, but do not read or crease or do
Yeah.
anything to these
Exactly.
books.
Don't touch these.
Do not touch these.
This is
Only
for
look.
looking.
Yeah. It's aesthetic
Oh,
purposes.
we go to like the bookstore. I go with my husband and I'll walk in and I'm like, look at the sprayed edges. I was like, look at this. I was like, isn't this nice? And he's like, yeah. I was like, it's nice. I was like, feel it. It feels good. He's like, okay.
I love it.
He's like, tell me when we're done. I was like, okay.
It's like, I'm just going to be walking around.
He's like, why do you have a Kindle if you're one? I was like, I want them all. I was like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
You
I'll
don't
read books on my
understand.
Kindle, and I love it so much that I need the trophy.
Yes.
I need to get the book. I have to. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a trophy.
Like, I want to have my Belle from Beauty and the Beast library one day, so I need
Yeah.
to collect.
Exactly.
You gotta
This is
start
just an
building.
investment.
Come on.
I'm like, don't worry, they'll be read. Like, they're not just gonna like collect dust.
I'm reading them.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I'm like, they're not gonna collect dust as I'm dusting my books. I'm like, don't worry about this.
You're fine.
Look, I tell him, like, if you could buy all these video games and those are way more expensive than my books, then I can get my books.
That's true.
I can get like 2 books for the cost
you
of
go.
like one video
Yeah.
game.
There you go.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is your comfort movie and TV show? Like, so what is the one that you're like, I will always throw this on and it just like makes me happy?
Oh God, that's so hard. Ugh. I think. I mean,
We have like 5 or 6 shows in a cycle. So like I have like a cycle. So right now I'm in my Friends cycle. And then once it's like fall, I'm in my like Gilmore Girls cycle, and then I'm in like our Glee cycle. Like so, like throughout the season,
Yeah.
throughout the year, I jump into like different.
I think that's the thing.
shows.
I think I have a routine of what I rewatch. So like I'll rewatch Wings Club, then it's like, okay, time to rewatch Witch, time to rewatch How to Train Your Dragon, time to
It like
rewatch.
starts it, and you're like,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah. Do you know Shira on Netflix? Maybe because you have kids, you might.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
Shira
it's-
and
yeah.
the Princess Power Princesses
Yeah.
or something like that. Oh my God, I love it. I personally.
Vanessa likes to watch it. She watched
She's
it
got
once.
2
She
girls.
was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, I really like this.
Hi.
She's right there. She's like,
over
what am I like?
I'll talk about it later. She's gonna go into a fit, but she's like, I really like this. I'm like, yeah, it's good. She goes, no, I really like this. I was like, okay. And then-
She's on
but
my
she,
cosplay
like, they love-
pans.
Yeah, they love to like shame me because my rotation is like Marvel movies. So I'll watch all the Marvel movies in order, and then it'll be like Harry Potter, and then it'll be Twilight, and then right now I threw in another rotation or another thing into my rotation recently, and it's like all of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
She's like in it right now.
I'm in it right now. Like that's where I'm at. I'm in the Shire, so that's yeah. So I have a rotation of like those movies.
Yeah.
And I'll put it on.
I think Once Upon a Time, which is more. It's not an.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love
love
that
it.
show. That
That's
is also
my
in my rotation.
favorite.
Hook.
Hear me out, Hook. Are you kidding
That's
me?
not even a hear me out. That's literally everyone. Hear me out,
Because there's some
Rumpelstiltskin.
people that don't. There's some people that don't, and for those who don't, I don't understand like
I don't
what
understand.
you're living. Like
Yeah.
My
what?
mom, my
Come
mom doesn't
on.
like Hook. I'm like, okay.
What? You're
Judging you a little bit.
Okay.
I'm like,
Literally.
when I read Hooked by what's the
Emily
author?
McIntyre.
Emily, yeah.
When I read that book, I was like, this is him. This is Killian.
read
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Killian.
I was like,
need to
this
read
is
it.
Killian. Like, choke me. Thank you. Like, obsessed.
I hate you.
We are unfiltered here. We just speak your
It's so
truth.
true.
It's fine.
Okay, but did you hear me when I said hear me out, Rumpelstiltskin?
Yes, I did. I did.
No, seriously, that scene when him and Belle do their dance, like at the near the last of the season, I was like, no, I can hear me out. He's cute. Like that was so cute.
Oh, but imagine him having somebody that's like all powerful, and you're literally the one person that he refuses, like has to protect. Like
I know.
That's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like, that's cute. Except he messes up a lot, but
A lot, but she's always like, it's okay. Like she truly is like, it is okay. Like we will make it work.
I
Yeah.
know.
I think who they casted as Belle is perfect.
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
I just love that show. It was Like every time I
Oh my
finish
god, I'm
rewatching
totally
it,
gonna like start rewatching it. I
Yeah.
was like,
I'm
I love
throwing it in the rotation.
my favorite. I love because like every season, you know, they have like a different Frozen and whatever.
Yeah.
I love the Peter Pan.
Me too.
s-
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, I love it. That's what
He's
I
like-
love too.
You know,
It's like, excuse me,
The
this is my
storyline too,
this is when
though.
it
Like,
starts, and like Hook starts, like Hook and Emma, and I was like, yes.
God, I love it. I love it.
when Peter Pan like first comes on and he's like, so he just like screams to the Lost Boys like, "Let's play," or like cheaters.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
sure.
You're like, please sit down.
I was like,
Please.
I love the Peter Pan. I mean, what's that? Have you guys seen that one Peter Pan movie?
Yes.
Do
I
you
know
know
what
what
you're talking about. The blonde boy. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I have to
I
find
know
the
what you're
year.
talking
Hold
about.
on.
I know.
There's
what
so
you're
I
many.
can't
talking about.
remember. It's so good.
Wait, it's Peter Pan in 2003. 2003's Peter
Yeah,
Pan.
the one that everybody crushed on growing up.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. I
Jeremy
crushed on that.
Sumter.
Yeah. I crushed on that movie so hard for no reason. I was like, why is he cute?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
No,
why?
yeah, I love that. When I watch Once Upon a Time and I'm like, okay, this is cool. But once it hits that Peter Pan season, I'm like, this
best
is
season.
like the best. It's
You're like,
Season
so
I have to sit
good.
down.
Was life changing, not only because of like Peter Pan, but just in general, Emma and Hook's evolution.
Yes.
The way that Emma like accepts that she's finally like the daughter of Prince Snow White and Prince Charles, like everything, just everything about that season.
I
is
know. It's
perfection.
so good.
And there's so many twists. Like Peter, well, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for
Yeah, the
watchers.
twists are
No,
crazy.
it is. And it works.
I love it.
It works. And you're just
Yeah.
like, this is amazing.
This is cinematic
so
history
It
being
is.
made. Okay, this is amazing.
It is. I don't care about the crappy CGI or like the green screen.
Also, don't care
I
about the
don't care.
crappy CGI. I'll see the
The
green
castle
screen flick
scene,
for a
I'm
second.
like, okay, that's fine. I don't care.
I know they're not walking that fast, but it's
I
fine.
don't care. Because Regina's outfits, when she's like the evil queen, excuse me?
You can step on me,
Left
please.
no cross. Yes.
Serious? Yeah,
I
please. With your high heels, okay? With your boots.
the way she has the high ponytail and she's got that crown that like blends into her hair. Girl.
So they came to Montreal Comic Con a few years ago, like Emma
Oh my
and Regina.
God.
So I have a picture with them. I'm like, oh, so happy.
You guys have
Oh my
like
God,
the
I love
best.
it.
Like we're in Vegas and we don't have shit. Like nothing ever happens here. Nothing fun like that happens here.
We have like stupid car conventions.
Really? I would think that
And I'm
Vegas
like-
would have a lot of stuff.
I'm hoping that with them building like the studios and stuff out here coming up that we get more things. But like I see like everywhere has like these amazing like book festivals and like all the authors like go out there and I'm just like, we don't get anybody.
Yeah,
we have to
we
try to
don't-
travel to everybody else.
We don't get book stuff for sure. We don't have like bookish conventions and balls,
Mhm.
and we don't have that. We just have like our Comic Con and anime convention, which is decent, which is pretty good. But
Yeah.
yeah, the United States has so much. Well, like mostly Nashville. Nashville has so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn. Okay. I
And
guess I
like we have to like do a road trip.
I gotta
We
go
gotta like do a
over there.
road trip and go these places.
My God. Okay.
Okay, where did we end up with?
I want to know because I'm a Swiftie. What
As
is
we
your
all
favorite?
are.
Yeah, what is your favorite Taylor Swift era?
Okay. So I feel like it changes with you, but I'm definitely
Mhm.
in my I've been in my Evermore era and Midnight's era.
Aw, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Evermore.
That fits you, yeah.
I
I'm
love
such an
that.
Evermore girly, especially I think because those two albums really helped me write book one. I have
Mhm.
so many of the songs on my playlist. So yeah. And of course, I'm going to be back in my Reputation era whenever she drops Reputation. Taylor's
I've been
version.
waiting.
Seriously.
I've been waiting.
When,
'Cause, like, I
girl?
need.
When?
She's holding on for it too long. There's no need for
know.
that. I need it. Okay.
You're
having
like, are you gonna release
withdrawals.
it? Yeah. Like you're like, are you gonna do it when it's like football season is back? Is that when we're gonna get it? Like, what are we waiting for right now? Please, ma'am.
I
What
just
about
need
you
to see the
guys?
snake.
What are your favorite albums? It's hard.
Love. I know. Cause like I will constantly just play the entire concert on Disney Plus.
That's valid.
Love it.
Like I will just have like when I get like because I have like a little treadmill here, and so like when I'm on it and I'm like, let me play it, and I'm just like, I don't know who I'm like Delulu, like thinking that I can like walk the strut that like she does on my like treadmill. I'm like,
I
what am I
love her
doing right now?
strut. I love it.
I know.
No, love a good I love the Reputation era.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I think it's like my favorite.
Folklore era. And then
Mm,
but I also like right now her like Tortured Poets Department. I noticed that
mhm.
lately I've been listening to a lot of those songs. When that album came out, I listened to that entire album from like start to finish for like I think a good 3 weeks straight, just
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time my friend would get in the car, she'd be like, "Why again? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I just feel things." Like
You're like, I'm just going through it right now. Okay.
yeah, literally. So, but if it's not that, then I think folklore, I tend to reel back towards
Well,
that.
we're almost in folklore season, so I've been
I
like
know.
slowly unfrosting my
Yeah.
folkloreness.
Itching into
I
that. Yeah.
love it.
Okay. So that wraps up our episode of Page to Picture. Huge thank you to you, Sarah, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And we hope you had fun. Sorry,
I
we got
did.
like sidetracked a lot.
No,
We
it
do
was
that.
really nice.
We tend to do that often, is where we like sidetrack to different conversations and it just snowballs
No, but
into
that's
something.
what's fun
So
about these things. So
I know, I love it.
Me too. Sarah, where can our listeners find you on social media?
yeah, so on Instagram and TikTok as just my full name, like Sara Shefiei, author. And then if you want to follow my cosplay journey, also on Instagram and TikTok, it's Wanted Royalty.
So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow us on Instagram at official page to picture to keep up with everything book related, movie adaptations, and more.
On our Instagram, you'll also find our link tree, which includes all our podcasts, guest signups, and our new merch that we just launched.
And then, so tune in next week as we end the month with a bang, celebrating the Great Gatsby and its 100th year anniversary, which I love The Great
I
Gatsby.
love
Me
The Great Gatsby.
too.
It's actually
Love
my
it.
favorite in the classics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it so much.
No, I love it. So this month we focused on literary classics. We just did Little Women. And
Mhm.
then the week that this episode comes out, we will have done Pride and Prejudice, which I had never seen the movie or read the book. So this will be my first time. We're going to go watch it in theaters because it's like the 20th year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna watch it in theaters. But yeah, I'm really excited for Great Gatsby. I love the Great
Love it.
Gatsby.
I love
Love
it.
it.
Like once you have your podcast out, I'm gonna send it to my old English high school teacher because she's the reason why I love it so much. And I still talk to her.
You got me like, look at this.
Look at this. Look at
I
this.
love that. Like that's like I remember reading it in school, and I was like, because like when you read books in school, you're kind of
Mhm.
like, all right, whatever. Like we have to read this.
Mhm.
That was the book. I was like, this is a good book.
Yeah.
And
I
I don't know
genuinely enjoyed it.
if it's because our teacher was teaching it well because she talked a lot about the symbolism and all that. And that's when
Mhm.
I think that's when I understood what literature really is. Because until
Yeah.
then, you were just reading books for the fun of it. But with The
Yeah.
Great Gatsby, I was just like, wow, this is what Easter eggs
Yeah.
are. This is what like you can like add
Yeah.
ins. And I'm like, I want to be that person.
Foreshadowing, doing all this stuff.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
now, like when we watch the film, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is perfect.
The movie was really good.
Yeah, the movie was really
Yeah, I
good.
love
Really
Leonardo
good.
DiCaprio.
I was actually.
So
I'm
do
so
I.
gonna listen to that podcast. Like, hurry up.
Yay! Yeah, I'm excited. And I can't believe 100 years. Like when I saw,
It's crazy.
when it was like leading up and people were posting that's going to be 100 years, I was like, what? Like, are you
Mhm.
serious?
I didn't think it was that long ago.
Me either.
I didn't either. I would think maybe like 30 or something, 20.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah.
100.
I was like, whoa. But like to this day, like that story and that book is like
Mhm.
so iconic. Like people know it. Everybody knows it. But thank you so much for joining us. We loved talking with you. Definitely when we do our Hunger Games episode, we're gonna reach back out and we'd love to have you as a guest on
I'm
our Hunger
ready.
Games
That
episode.
I
would be
will be in
great.
costume. I will be in costume.
No, I love it. I think
I'm gonna dress up as
Okay.
PETA when he was in the mud.
Okay.
You know, and he's like camouflage.
Okay.
Camouflage. What?
Yeah, in the
What?
mud.
I'm gonna be Effie.
I'm gonna be Stanley
Effie would
Tucci's.
be
I'm gonna be
so
Stanley
fun.
Tucci's character.
Oh my god, I love
Can we put
Stanley
the music?
Tucci.
Like when we
Yes.
start, we
Yes.
should
Yeah.
put the music, like Caesar
Yeah.
music. Okay.
We should do
I'm
that.
so
I will
excited.
play Stanley Tucci's character, and I will introduce each of you like I was on. No, I'm
I
like
love
dead
it.
serious. We have like a year to prepare. Like,
So
So
start
down.
preparing. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna start
so down.
practicing. My husband's gonna be
love
like, "What are you?" He's gonna be like,
I
"What are you
love
doing?" I'm like, "Don't tell me you don't ever want to be with Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, don't tell. I love it.
Don't tell me you never wanted to be with Stanley Tucci." Hello, Hunger Game. We are
Yeah.
obsessed with Stanley Tucci and Anne Hathaway. Okay,
Love it.
like we're
Yes.
freakishly obsessed. But that I have to go as Him,
You have
and
to
then
be
Tiff,
Stanley
you'll
Tucci.
be Peter in the mud.
No,
I
I'll
can't.
probably be Effie.
That'd be so fun.
I
You
can do
have
Peter
to.
in the mud. Don't underestimate my skills. Okay.
I can't wait for that
I know.
episode.
I'm so
I'm
excited.
excited. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate talking to you.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great weekend, a great rest
You
of your
too.
day.
I'll
I'm
stay in
definitely
touch.
gonna read my book. Tiff, are you gonna watch Barbie or
Yeah, I'm
read
gonna
your
watch
book?
Barbie. I think I'm gonna watch Barbie and I'm gonna clean the house. I'm gonna
I
put
think I'm
on
gonna
Princess and the Pauper. I'm in that mood now. I might need to watch just the Peter Pan.
I know. I'm
Just
just like
the Peter Pan
fast forward a
season.
little bit. Like when does
Yeah.
Hook
I
get?
know when
What
Hook
happens?
comes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when
With
does?
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yes.
When they have to climb the beanstalk and he's all like flirty.
No, okay, wait. I love the scene when him and Emma have to like they get transported like back
Back in time.
together,
Yes.
and then you remember there's like another Hook like, and she's like fixing her like corset. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
In book 2 of my book, I mean, there's not gonna be 2 Calebs, but I want a scene like where she has to like flirt with somebody in like a tavern or something. So it's like it's
I
inspired by that.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh my
And
god,
then
I love
Anything
that
with
so
Hook.
much.
Oh my god, anything with him, I just love.
He's just the way he looks.
I
I know.
know.
It's just enough for me. Like he doesn't have to speak. I mean, I love him
Yeah.
speaking, but he doesn't
Oh,
have to. And
same.
I'll be like,
Just
that's
stare
my
at
favorite
me.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I love him.
with your hook
I
and all,
wanna-
I don't care. Keep your hook.
Bring the
keep your-
hook.
I don't care. No, the hook is a must. Okay,
Bring the hook. Okay.
you don't need your fake hand. Like you can bring
There's
your
no
hook.
need
It's
for it.
cool.
It's stupid.
Hey,
Anywho.
thank you guys. That's a great end to the segment to our
Love it.
show.